Madagascar detached from the African and Indian continent over 80 million years ago. Madagascan fauna evolved independently, which is why it's so unique. Today, close to 95% of reptiles and 100% of amphibians are endemic to Madagascar. This represents around 4% of the species on the planet, which is extraordinary. But although the fauna is protected in Madagascar, reptiles and amphibians are nonetheless threatened by deforestation, poaching and fire. To find them, I'll have to travel to the most inaccessible areas on the island where the ecosystems are still protected. Strange, mysterious and sometimes dangerous, reptiles are nevertheless fascinating. My name is Nathanaël Maury. I'm a photographer and a herpetologist. I've decided to roam the planet alone with 15 kilos of gear in a backpack to photograph reptiles and amphibians, whether known or unknown to this day. My project is to create a detailed encyclopedia of all these species before they disappear. That's the challenge I've set for myself. Here you need to watch out for the rocks. With the waves, we could easily break the canoe. This is no joke. I need to stay focused. Now's not the time to capsize. I'll have to slalom a bit to get through. I've seen a small beach over there. It's perfect for landing. This is the Masoala peninsula, one of the most inaccessible areas in Madagascar. Needless to say, we won't be meeting many people here. Madagascar is one of the places on Earth with the highest concentration of biodiversity. Around 800 species of reptiles and amphibians have been documented here, but that's just an estimate because in the last 10 years, over 130 new species have been discovered on Madagascan soil. All right, I've arrived in the primary forest. It's a forest that's been here for a long time. You can tell because there's a large variety of plants. This is one of the most humid forests on the planet. Ah, there was a frog, but it escaped. There you. This is Furcifer pardalis. It has a crest on top and underneath the body, but it doesn't have a rostrum, which means that it's a female. I want to keep her from climbing on the branch. There. Ah, she's really pretty, isn't she? There, you can climb through here. There's enough room. Now, don't you go escaping on me. Ah, the male is above. This is a male Furcifer pardalis. He has a nice rostrum and he's much more colourful than the female. Ah, they're together now. It's breeding season for them, so that's why they're next to each other. The male is surely chasing after the female. He's beautiful. His colouring is incredible. He's nodding his head slightly as the female to seduce her. After, I'm going to set up my studio. She just tried to escape. And the male as well. Climb on the stick. There. Well, I've just captured 2 chameleons. The couple. Oh, the male's colours are really astounding. I'm going to put him in a bag because otherwise he's going to escape. He jumped. The thing is, they always see us coming. With lizards, you try to approach them from behind to catch them by surprise. But with chameleons, it's complicated because they have 360-degree vision and they're hard to catch by surprise. So, he's changed mood, so he's changed colours. That's the way chameleons behave. Mood is colour. You can see this little rostrum on the tip of the nose. That's how you can tell him apart from the female. Females don't have rostrums. And here you can clearly see the hood, the ventral crest and the dorsal crest. So this is how you can tell it's a furcifer pardalis. So he's got small feet and very sharp claws. The funny thing is that it's as if he only had 2 fingers on each side. Actually, he has 3 on one side and 2 on the other, which makes 5 fingers in all. Oops. That's what I thought. He's trying to grip onto something and he won't let me take his photo. I'm going to try to handle him a bit so he relaxes. We need to be buddies. It takes a little patience. There. You starting to relax? I'm not here to bother you. There we go. It's difficult to take a picture of him looking at me because he's looking all over the place. And very quickly at that. His eyes are constantly moving, so it's really hard to adjust the focus on the eye. There we are. An overall photo. Let's take the ventral shot. Here I'm using the light box, which is soft, and I'm making a little plastic roof over his back. There. Okay, let's return you home and then I'll take photos of your female. Look who's taking a little nap in the bag. You a little calmer? There, just pretend you're at home. You're chilling and I'm taking a few photos. Beautiful. Climb up. Perfect. One ventral shot and we'll be done. Okay, that's perfect. Done. Okay, I'll let you go. Go back to your mate there. All right. I'm going to pack up the studio and then we'll move on. There are lemurs. Oh, he's magnificent. He looks like he has a crest around his head and a long tail. I think those are the red ruffed lemurs. Even if I didn't come for them, I'm really glad to hear them and to see them. All right. Well, thanks for the photos. Have fun. Sometimes you need to look on top of ferns like these because they collect all the dead leaves and there are small frog species in the humus. Let's see if we can find any. There's a cockroach. No, well, I can't see any here. I'll put this back in place to avoid destroying the habitat. There. Okay, there's nobody in there. I'll go and look somewhere else. There are rivers everywhere here. There's so much water. Mossy rivers like these are ideal for frogs because their skin needs to stay damp permanently. I have to be careful, it's slippery here. I'm going to switch on my lamp, it's getting dark. This is a bit steep. Okay, let's go. In situations like these, you have to hang on to the vegetation, but you need to make sure that it's strong enough. There. So now... This is a very populated area. There are animals all over. So I'm going to try and invite myself for the night. This will make a nice campsite. There's water nearby, that'll be convenient. Okay. I've finished setting up camp. I've got frogs waiting for me. A snake. I'm going to catch him delicately. There, okay, he's just spotted me. The famous Madagascar tree boa. Isn't he a beauty? This is Sanzania madagascariensis. He is magnificent. You can easily tell he's a constrictor snake. He caught my forearm and now he's squeezing. You can't stay like that for very long because you could pass out once you take the tourniquet off. They use their strength to kill prey by constriction. He seems calm. He's really beautiful, isn't he? This is one of the two Sanzania species that lives here in Madagascar. This one lives mostly along the east coast and the other species lives on the west coast, so they're easily to identify. It just depends on where you are. I was expecting to find one because it's a rather common snake, but to find one like this is great. He's darting his tongue out, he's smelling his surroundings. The evening is off to a very good start. I have to shut it tight to make sure he doesn't escape. There. It's going to be a great photo shoot tomorrow. There's a frog over there. I'm going to try and catch it. Actually, you can see them from far away, up to several dozen meters, just because their eyes reflect the light. They have what's called a tapidum lucidum. There we go. So the tapidum lucidum is a blanket of cells that reflects the light inside the eye. That means that when a ray of light enters the eye, it's reflected inside before it goes out again. This allows the animal to see even when luminosity is low. So this is a trait shared by many nocturnal animals. It allows them to see in the dark. Let's give him some leaves there, so you can stay hydrated, so you don't feel stressed in your bag, and stay nice and comfy. This is a great playground. I'm going to go up to the river a bit. A snake. Ah, yes. It's a madagascarophis. They're identified by the white tails, and this one is a madagascarophis, colubrinus. This is an apistoglyphous snake, so although it's venomous, its venom fangs are located at the back of the mouth, and it's not dangerous for humans. Okay, I think it's been a nice evening. I think it's time to go to bed and get some rest. What's nice is that I've already set up camp. I just need to climb into my hammock. It was about time I reached shelter. There we go. Oh, this is perfect. The definition is great here. You can see all the details of the scales. I can't get over those colors. Those animals have really developed special traits. Now, what about the female? You can clearly see the eye. The Madagascan legend says that one eye looking to the future and the other to the past. What pretty little teeth. Oh, that's it for the chameleons. Tomorrow morning I'll do the snakes and the frogs, and the encyclopedia will grow. All right, it's time to get to sleep. I slept really well, lulled by the sound of the rain. I'm glad it stopped raining, at least it seems so. All right, now action. I'm going to pack up camp, because it's not an ideal spot for the photo shoot. I'm going to look for a place where I can catch the frogs if ever they start hopping around. If they jump here, I'll lose them. It'd be a pity. What I like about camping with a hammock is you don't have to leave any traces. I've spent a good night taking advantage of the hospitality of the jungle, and when I leave, there's no waste left behind. No marks, no signs of tents. It's natural. I can hold my whole camp in one hand. Well, here's a good spot to take my photos, and I should be able to keep the animals from escaping. I have to make sure I have a stable surface, because the boa is rather big and he'll be pretty heavy. A little ray of sunlight, that's nice. There was some when I got up and then it clouded over. The weather is very unpredictable. There. Madagascarophis, colubrinus. They're part of the colubrine family. He's really pretty. So even though this is not a big snake, it's one of the furcifer pardalis main predator, which we saw yesterday. They like to eat chameleons. So the difference between humans and snakes is that our lower and upper jaws are attached together. They can pivot, and they're still attached. A snake's jaw, on the other hand, are not attached. They have a ligament, and that ligament is very extensible. This means that a snake this size can easily swallow a furcifer pardalis. He's darting his tongue. That's going to make a nice plate. So now I have to get him to calm down to take my overall photo. Now he's calm. If only all snakes could be like this one, it would be great. A little sandwich. Always check that you can count all the scales. Here I can count all the ventral scales, so it's a good photo. Hey, stay here. I'll let you go very soon. Let's just finish the photos. Thank you for your patience. You've been really cool, you know that? I'll release you by the river where I found you. There. Oh, I love the moment when I release the animals. It's one of my favorite moments. When you photographed a snake and it leaves calmly like that, my mission is over. He made the ball. It's a boa ball. There. If you could just flatten that ball a bit so that I can see you better, that's not bad. Beautiful. He's calm. He spent the night in the bag. Now he's waking up and he understands that I'm not dangerous. This is not a venomous snake, but it does have good-sized fangs, and lots of them. They're very strong animals. If you get bitten, you're likely to need stitches. And he's got a magnificent head. I love it. And these bluish reflections in the scales are really special. Look at the camera. Cheese. There we go. Beautiful. So here you can clearly see the shallow pits. These are thermal receptors that give him infrared vision. So thermal vision is like infrared vision, just like an infrared camera. That means he can detect warm-blooded animals even when it's pitch dark out. It allows him to hunt at night. His small teeth are clearly visible here. So because they're small and very fine, they can dig deeply into the skin to get a solid grip on the prey so it won't escape. There. I'm going to turn him over. There. From here, I can get all the scales. Perfect. Oh, excellent. So we can count them, yes. There. Well, you've been really good. Now you can go back to your business, eh? Eat some lemurs, birds, rats. Okay. I've found you right here. I'm releasing you in the same spot. Okay, well, thanks for the photos. They'll make a great plate for the encyclopedia. Now for the frogs. That's a plethodontohyla notostica. This is a frog that likes to hide in holes to lay its eggs. A female can transport up to 120 eggs in one clutch. Stay on your back there. That won't be long. Excellent. They have a nice white line all along the body, from the snout to the thigh. They're also very pretty seen from the front. In this species, once the eggs have been fertilized, the male looks after them. There. Just like home. I'm heading for the island of Nosy Mangabe, an island which is part of the Masoala National Park and is known for its biodiversity. Nosy Mangabe means Blue Island in Malagasy. You can find around 30 species of reptiles here and approximately the same number of amphibian species. Amazing for such a small island. It's only 5 square kilometers. It's a completely virgin island. There are no houses, no farmlands, nothing but nature. It's as if the island has been placed in a time capsule that we came back to visit. The island is also known for its slave trade. In the 17th century, slaves were gathered on the island before they were boarded onto ships. There's a Europlatus. It's amazing how they blend with their surroundings. Oh, it's really beautiful. They sleep head down during the day, and at night they hunt. So he spends the day like that, blending in with the tree trunk so that predators won't notice him. I can tell from his eyes that this is Europlatus fimbriatus. He developed a small dermal flap that runs the length of his body. This helps to scatter shadows, because a lizard can be spotted by its shadows on a tree trunk, so he doesn't have a shadow. So his flap is lich in shape to make him even less visible. You can just see a bit of the tail sticking out. They have flat tails that adapt to branches. I'm going to capture him, but I have to be careful because it's an animal that bites. There. They have strength in their feet. Wow, what a mouth. I have to take him back home after the photo shoot, so I'm going to take the GPS coordinates, because that's history. There, I've got it. Well, this is a really good start. Oh. That's a Brocacea periussi. It's one of the smallest chameleons in the world. There are only a few this size. He's tiny. For the Brocacea, I'm going to have to use super macro mode. I think I'm going to be at 100% of my camera's capacities. It won't be easy to take good photos. Who wants to start? Come on, Mr. Brocacea. The little chameleon. It's not often I've had reptiles this size on my light box. It's a Brocacea from the chameleon family. They lay only 2 eggs per year and live around 2.5 years. The impressive thing is that they have the same ecology as insects. This means that, although they are reptiles, they also have the same behavior, reactions and habits as many insects. They live among dead leaves and eat microflies, small insects, tinier than they are. They have no other means of defense. The only way they can defend themselves is by blending in with the forest bed and keeping still. They're really cute. To escape from predators, they fold their feet, drop to the ground, and because they are the same colour and shape as dead leaves, once on the ground, they're really hard to find. So, there. He turned over. Okay, that's done. Will you face me? Yeah? No, he turned round. You can certainly scamper on those short feet, right? There, from the front. I'm going to take one from above. Now for the ventral shot. There. Now he's on his back, but he's not stuck. He's got room. There. Okay, well, let me take you back home. You behaved very well for the photos. I'll let you go now. I have to be careful not to step on you, because you're tiny. Now I'm going to do the Europlatus and try to avoid being bitten in the process. Wow, he's magnificent. He changed colours. So he adapts to his environment. He changes colours to match the colour of the support he's on. Here, he probably couldn't do orange. Okay, so first I'm going to take pictures of the head. His eye is really magnificent. Let's take a photo from the front if you don't mind. Huh. He's got a duck face seen from the front. What a beautiful animal. I love him. The position, the behaviour. Everything is different. So now he's rearing up on his hind feet to show me he's bigger, more imposing. He's just trying to impress me. There. Now that's a beautiful photo. Watch my fingers, don't bite me. In you go. They like being head down, so I'm putting him in a position in the bag. That's how they spend most of their time. Like this, he won't be too stressed, he's relaxed. It's really an improbable species. This is an animal that's going to stand out in the encyclopedia. We're almost there. Over this way. Ah, there we are. That's your tree. We're home. I'm releasing you just before nightfall. You're going to be able to go hunting. I hope that you've been able to get some sleep. Do you recognize your tree? I'm going to continue on with my journey. Okay, bye. Oh, fine. I can set my hammock here. I'm exhausted. I'm looking forward to getting some rest. It's going to be great. Softly rocked by the waves. Tomorrow morning, I have to wake up at the crack of dawn. Well, I'm happy. That was an extraordinary day. I've got some breathtaking animals, like this one with his orange eyes, his stripes. You have to admit the Europlatus is an incredible animal. It's always pleasant to look at photos in the evening, but I need to get some rest because I'm tired. I've had a really long day. I've paddled, trudged around, looked for species, taken pictures. And tomorrow, I'm changing regions. I'll be heading northwest of Madagascar, to Anchorafantzica National Park, which is a dry forest. The biotopes there are completely different, and I hope to find other species that you can't find here. But for now, I need to get some rest. Anchorafantzica Park shelters the largest stretches of dry forest in western Madagascar. Ecosystems and biotopes here are very different from what you can find in Masoala region. Approximately 70 reptile species and some 15 amphibian species live here. That's extraordinary. I've never seen anything like this. I won't find the species I'm looking for here. They live in the forest. I'm in the dry forest now. It's around 1,300 square kilometers. This is called a semi-deciduous forest. This means that the trees lose part of their leaves to save water. This is due to the fact that the soil is sandy, so it loses water very quickly. And here the species are very special. I'm going to try to find them. This is a Leoheterodon. They're very fast. Only have one chance to catch it. Avoid making sudden movements, otherwise it'll just scurry off. At least he's not paying attention to me. It's a larger garter snake, and it's the most feared snake in Madagascar. It's a very strong snake and quick to attack. They're not really dangerous. They aren't lethal, but they bite with big teeth. There. I have to wait until he gets tired to be able to catch him. There. Got him. That warmed me up nicely. Oh, he's magnificent. That's funny. It has a hood like a cobra. You're not happy, are you? Don't worry, I'm not here to hurt you. Even though this is not a very dangerous snake, it's nonetheless venomous. And these are the venomous hooks. Here. In front of the small pink protrusions, these are teeth that it uses as hooks. The venom trickles down the tooth. So it's not very efficient as far as inoculation methods go. That's why they're not very dangerous. But you still need to be careful, and it hurts too. It's very beautiful. There. There. There's a very small iguana on the branch. I'm going to try to get closer, but he's seen me. It's going to be a bit tricky. He's really beautiful. Oh, he went further onto the branch, but maybe I can still catch him. Opulus cuvieri. This animal is a mystery, but it lives in Madagascar, and iguanas are usually found on the American continent. So no one really knows how it got here. Out of the 900 iguana species in the world, there are only 7 in Madagascar. The rest are on the American continent. I won't be able to catch him. He's going in deeper and deeper. It's a wonder that he can ever come out again. Okay, well, I'll just have to try and catch the next one. Hey, there's a Brocessia right there. He's so cute. Brocessia dicari. It's part of the Brocessia family. This is a much larger species. It's at least 8 centimeters long. It's still a small chameleon, though. He's covered in spines. He's magnificent. I'm going to put him in the bag and take the GPS coordinates to bring him back to his original biotope, because these animals tend to wander around. Well, here's a nice bypath. It's a good place for my photo shoot. I'll start with the photos of the garter snake. First, I'll take the photos of the head, and then I'll try to relax him to put him on the light box. But I'm not sure that'll work. If not, I'll do it on the ground. I have to find the head before the head finds me. He's going to need to relax. A lateral shot. It's really beautiful. He's raising his head. That's going to make a great photo from the front. I have to befriend the snake because at one point I'll need to let go of him completely to take the overall photo. In that case, they need to be handled delicately until they calm down. And always keeping in mind that they could bite at any moment. If you could stay like that, it would be perfect. No, it's not working. You can see why this is the most feared snake in Madagascar. It's a very swift animal. You have to calm down, you know. I'm not letting you go until I have my photo. Otherwise you won't have your plate in the encyclopedia, and that would be a pity. There. I've got the overall shot. Now I just need the ventral one. Wait a second before you move when I take my photo. Wow. He's magnificent. The ventral photo is perfect. You have to be patient. Very gentle and patient. If the snake feels threatened, he'll never calm down. That's it. He's funny like that. I'm going to release him because we're in his habitat. Incredible how soundlessly he slithers on the ground. Now I'm going to do the Brookesia. That's the small chameleon. It should be much easier. These animals, instead of running away, play dead. So, the two pictures. Let's start with the lateral photo. There. It's a special animal because it has spines all along the backbone. I'm waiting for him to turn the eye the right way. I've just been invaded by small bees. They're really extraordinary animals. That was the place. You see? You went for a ride and now you're back home. You remember your branch? There. Watch out for yourself. You're rather small after all. There are wasps. go back down to the river. Oh, there's a snake. Oh, I was afraid it would get away. This is a Malagasy ground boa, always beautiful. Acrantophis madagascariensis, one of the most beautiful species in Madagascar. Oh, he just saw me now. I'm going to catch him, put him in the bag, and do my photo shoot here. Like this, I can release him directly afterwards. You have to watch out because they do have large teeth. I've tried to be gentle, but he's not gentle at all. I'm going to do this on the sand, it'll be better. Hey. There we go. Oh, he's calling up. His strength is incredible. And he's rolling up in a ball. Beautiful. He's got spurs. He's a male. Oh, they're really nice. Come on. They're exceptional animals. The colours and the size too. This is the largest snake in Madagascar. They can measure up to 3.2 meters long. This one is not that long, but is still a good size animal. This is going to be a magnificent photo shoot. You're the last specimen I'm photographing here in Madagascar. You need to be nice if you want me to keep a fond memory of the animals here, right? Those black bands on his snout are incredible. They look painted. So neat. Actually, the spurs are vestigial feet. They're attached to the pelvic bone to the pelvis. Generally, they use them to arouse the female during mating. The best way to measure snakes is to lie down next to them. Like this. There we go. He's about my size, a little over 1.60 meters. Lateral photo. Let me just take a front shot, and then we could do an overall photo. There. Oh, he's beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So let me just take a nice ventral photo and I'll let you go. So Acrantophis madagascariensis are ovoviviparous, which means that their babies are hatched directly out of the pocket. But they've developed a very specific strategy for reproduction. Instead of giving birth to lots of babies like most snakes this size, that's to say between 30 to 40 babies or 30 to 40 eggs, these snakes give birth to 2 to 6 babies. However, their babies are enormous. At birth, they measure 70 centimeters and weigh close to 300 grams. And we think that they've chosen this specific adaptation because there are not predators for large snakes here. So it makes sense to have big babies. That means there aren't a lot of them, but they will survive because they don't have any predators. Whereas if you have small babies, lots of them will die through predation. Let's turn you over on your back now. No rolling up in a ball. The problem is that I don't speak Madagascan, so we have a hard time communicating sometimes. As always, patience is the key. Perfect photo plate. I have all the ventral scales. I'm glad, because I've got the Madagascar boa. Okay, well, I'll let you go. My stay in Madagascar is over. I'll be traveling to other lands now. This expedition to Madagascar has lived up to my expectations. Finding reptiles and amphibians in a country where endemism is close to 95% is every herpetologist's dream. I've added 91 new reptile and amphibian species to my encyclopedia. Some species could disappear without ever having been photographed. This is one of the reasons that motivates me to continue with my encyclopedia.